What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Monday, January 27th, 2025. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, fixed air moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all very much. Hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday. We got a new moon coming up on Tuesday, tomorrow. We got a Chinese New Year. Year of the snack. I'm a snack. Shout out to the snacks. And yeah, let's see what's up with Monday. Well, we're going to see a moon in Capricorn. It is dark, balsamic, coming up for that new moon Tuesday morning. But it's not quite there yet. We're also going to see a Mercury ingress into Aquarius today. And that moon's going to make a really nice sextile to Saturn. Won't quite get to Venus yet, but it will square Chiron. So I think in terms of our personal life, our emotions, we're trying to close out a lot of serious sort of emotional business here in Capricorn. And I think figure out what kind of ladder we're going to climb, whether it's the corporate ladder or the ladder in our personal life, or whatever these goals might have been, or New Year's resolutions. Like, now it's kind of like, okay, well, we got to take the next step, but we're also shifting into, more of an Aquarius season, especially with Mercury joining the sun. Remember when the sun was in Capricorn, Mercury was in Sag retrograde, so it's always a little, I think whenever like the sun goes through a sign without Mercury there, we're kind of like mentally playing catch up until like we get that Mercury in the same sign as the sun again. So like we're finally going to be kind of like caught up in time. So it's already felt like we've been lagging, which can bring stress. And I think that's where this Chiron square is like, oh, I didn't get enough done. I don't feel like I feel inhabilitated. The inability to persevere or to hit the next level, or kind of stuck. Like, don't let stuff drag you down. Like, if stuff's showing up, I think Saturn with the sextile here is just saying keep striving for the creativity, the dreams, the life you want, especially with Venus at 23 degrees Pisces and that sextile to Uranus. You gotta have that unique perspective and hope for your values right now, and you gotta want to make your fairy tale come true, and you gotta want to put the physical work behind it, the physical emotion behind it. It's so interesting coming into this quantumness of Aquarius, and time becomes a little bit different, and the understanding becomes a little bit deeper, especially with Mercury, Pluto, that are going to conjunct today and into tomorrow. That's an in-depth, mind that wants to crack this sort of quantum code. But I think cracking the quantum code, it's not really relevant. I don't think we need to know everything in all things. I don't think we're meant to know everything. But I do think it is like dialing up everything that makes you human. All 12 of these archetypes of the zodiac that make up the wheel, that make up our physical construct, this reality. Like, this is where I think we want to dial in how to, in a mature and more grown way, start to use these archetypes to our benefit. And I think Aquarius wants to put all the pieces together here. And I think Mercury's going to want to do it too. And I think, yes, this can make for some intense communication, some intense conversation. It's some like wanting to know deeper into people's philosophies, but not so much about the philosophy, just even like the human aspect of people. So it's a lot of like deep questioning, and I think some intensive questioning. So don't be surprised if there's some like people coming, even friends, people close to you. I think we're all trying to figure this one out, and there's a lot of different. It's very quantum, right? There's all these different outcomes. So everything has a different outcome, a different stream things can go into, and we don't want to feel debilitated by different outcomes, but we want to be flexible and to, I think, remain grounded in whatever it is that makes us unique and makes our fantasy unique, and how we can get closer to that. And I think today's a good opportunity, especially with North Node and Neptune getting really close together. Neptune's very close to that conjunction with the North Node, which is a special time. We want to be in this, like, we really want to be high hope, high faith, having a lot of trust. We don't need to make sense of everything, and Mercury dispositing the South Node with Pluto definitely intensifies it. And like, we can get stressed out if we want to crack Da Vinci's code or just the human code right now too, but like, let God work its magic for you and for the world, and don't let the world and society stress you out to oblivion, especially with the dark moon in Capricorn finishing this lunation. Like, dial up your plans for what you want to create. Dial up the reality, the fantasy of the reality that you want to create. And I think put a lot of faith in what that is, and that it will take physical work, and it will take physical, emotion and physical strength, and it will take all these sort of identifying, factors into account. But Mars is starting to trine over to the midpoint of Venus and Saturn now too, which I just think too is extremely helpful. Like Mars and Saturn want to get things done. Now it's Mars retrograde, so it's still a little weak in here in fall position here. And the moon is going to finish the day in opposition to that Mars, which is actually a really nice mutual reception. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, and the moon is the ruler, dignified in Cancer. So it's an interesting thing of like finding strength emotionally and then resilience and drive in a time where it can almost feel like the fountain of drive and ambition is kind of dried up. So we got to create the oasis right now and create that infinite water source so that we can deeply intensely identify and understand how many different outcomes are possible if we're willing to use our human nature and our work ethic and our emotion and our feeling and our imagination to acquire a desired outcome and to amplify the value and to amplify the truth of what's around us. So, pretty cool Monday, but definitely a day where it can feel and it can not make sense, and the investigation to find out how to make it make sense could make people want to go crazy. And I think the moon opposite Mars could be aggro, and I think even a moon sextile Saturn could be a little aggro because this moon's debilitated here and it's feeling stressed, like it has to accomplish everything in one night to get to the desired quantum spot that it thinks it has to be. And it's so identified to. But be open to all different things. Be flexible. Be like, it's Aquarius season coming up here. We're in Aquarius season. We're about to have Mercury there, the moon. Yeah, it's going to feel like Aquarius season. Even Capricorn season, it was just the sun in Capricorn. Venus is over here. Mercury is over here, retrograde. Weird sort of Capricorn season. So Aquarius is going to kind of actually get us back to feeling more human. And Aquarius rules the wrists and the ankles. So remember, like, it's the ability that we have as humans to be flexible and move in weird ways that makes us so unique and special. And we gotta have that trust fall, knowing that we're special and unique, and that the universe has a plan, and that we don't have to have it all figured out all the time, and we can think we do. And I think that that'll just add a bunch of stress and make today a harder day than it needs to be, when it's like, chill out and stay on top of the stuff you can be on top of. You got stuff to do, handle your business. If you don't have a bunch of stuff to do, don't beat yourself up for not having a bunch of stuff to do. Don't go looking, too deep, because this Mercury can get lost a little bit, even in Aquarius, where Mercury's pretty strong. I mean, with Pluto, it's a never-ending rabbit hole of, like, if you want to look for something, you'll probably find it, but it depends on what you're looking for. It's kind of like, if you want, it's like that thing where, like, if you're in a relationship and you want to find something to get mad about, you can you can almost always find something to get mad about. But what's the point? It's like you're just looking for something to be upset about. Today can have that feeling, like, where it's either you or people are almost just like looking for something to be strict and like ruly about, when it doesn't have to be like that and projected out onto people that way. And I think if you want to handle business, just handle business with your ego in check and with a good hope and a good vision of the future, but not that something has to be absolutely perfect and that you have to know this quantum equation that nothing knows. Nothing knows it. We might know it eventually, but nothing knows it right now. So hope you have a good Monday, and don't let things get you too stressed. card for the day is, oh my god, finishing up a Capricorn lunation and a moon in Capricorn, and we got the devil card. The devil! God, that's a devilly card. Well, it's interesting because it kind of feels like we're getting a vice check a little bit. With so much in Pisces right now, the collective 12th house and Saturn direct and the moon making aspects and the North Node and Neptune and Uranus sextiles and Mars trines, like that Pisces is so lit up, and I feel like there's certain things physically that we have these little vices in life, right? And I think it's kind of a vice check day. That's what this card feels like to me. So check yourself on your vices. Try to be disciplined in your personal life right now, so that whether it's an emotional thing or a physical thing, an emotional stress, a physical stress, both, a mental stress, like try to be disciplined enough to see your way out in a, mature manner, and to not kind of obsess too far over maybe things that you don't actually need. And it can almost, maybe it feels like we need more. There has to be another level, and I don't know. Take note of things that you don't actually need, but that are really coming up today that you want. So I would say take notes on wants and ask yourself if it's something you need. And if you don't need it, today might be a good day to practice staying away from it. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful Monday, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love. Peace.